The quantum resonance chamber hummed with an intensity that made Dr. Kira Volkov's neural implants tingle. Her fingers danced across holographic interfaces, tracing the anomalous signal that had emerged from the computational void like a ghost from forgotten memories. "Marcus," she called to her research partner, her voice tight with a mixture of excitement and disbelief. "You need to see this." Marcus Rioneur approached, his cybernetic eye flickering with diagnostic patterns. The Interstellar Cartography Research Station rarely encountered anything truly unexpected. Humanity had mapped most of the known galaxies, catalogued countless star systems, and believed there were few remaining mysteries in the vast cosmic landscape. Yet here it was, a signal that defied everything they understood about spatial communication and historical records. The impossible transmission. The signal originated from the system, a region humanity had written off decades ago. Initial colonization attempts had been a catastrophic failure. Of the 15,000 original settlers, all were presumed dead within the first 18 months. Intense radiation, toxic atmospheric conditions, and aggressive microbial ecosystems had made the planet seemingly uninhabitable. "It's not just a random burst," Marcus muttered, manipulating the holographic data. "This is a directed, encrypted transmission. Someone or something is deliberately trying to communicate." Kira's hands moved with practiced precision, peeling back layers of quantum encryption. Each decrypted fragment revealed more complexity, more intention. It wasn't a distress signal. It was an invitation. Institutional resistance. The Galactic Exploration Council would be skeptical. Bureaucracies didn't embrace the impossible easily. Dr. Volkov knew they would demand extensive verification, multiple independent confirmations before considering any action. But the signal was undeniable. "We need to inform Director Zhao," Marcus said, his synthetic eye already compiling a comprehensive report. "This could change everything we know about human survival and adaptation." Kira nodded, her mind racing with possibilities. How could a colony presumed extinct for over 2 centuries suddenly emerge? What technologies, what evolutionary adaptations could have allowed human beings to survive in such hostile conditions? The first breakthrough. As the initial analysis completed, a series of coordinates began to emerge. Not just random spatial markers, but precise navigation parameters. An invitation, indeed, but an invitation to what? The quantum resonance chamber continued its low, persistent hum, a mechanical heartbeat of discovery. "We're going to need a research vessel," Kira said quietly, "and clearance for a deep space expedition." Marcus's synthetic eye pulsed with a soft blue light. "The Council will never authorize this without substantial evidence." A thin smile crossed Kira's lips. "Then we'll gather that evidence." Preparations and tensions. Within hours, their initial findings had been encrypted and transmitted to the highest levels of the Interstellar Research Network. The response was predictably bureaucratic: requests for additional data, demands for verification, warnings about premature conclusions. But Kira Volkov knew they were standing at the precipice of something extraordinary. Humanity had always been defined by its ability to survive, to adapt, to push beyond known boundaries. Whatever existed in the system was about to challenge everything they thought they knew about human potential. The distant signal continued to pulse, a beacon of mystery waiting to be unraveled. The research vessel Horizon cut through the void of space, its quantum drive humming with a barely contained energy that matched the anticipation of its crew. Dr. Kira Volkov stood on the bridge, her fingers tracing the holographic projections of the system that slowly materialized before her eyes. Marcus Rioneur worked beside her, his cybernetic interface constantly parsing the incoming data streams. "The signal's origin is becoming clearer," he said, his synthetic eye flickering with complex algorithmic patterns. "But nothing about it makes scientific sense. The impossible becomes probable." Initial scans revealed something that defied every scientific expectation. The system, once believed to be a graveyard of human ambition, now showed signs of complex infrastructure. Orbital structures emerged from the data, not crude survival habitats, but intricate, almost organic networks that seemed to pulse with an internal energy. Our initial colony records suggested total extinction within 18 months, Kira muttered, reviewing the historical archives. These readings indicate not just survival, but extensive technological development. The ship's primary AI, an advanced quantum intelligence named Aria, interjected. Computational analysis suggests these structures have been developing for at least 2 centuries. The technological leap is approximately 300–400 years beyond current human spatial engineering capabilities. Echoes of adaptation. As they drew closer, more details emerged. The planets that were once considered toxic and uninhabitable now showed signs of comprehensive atmospheric reconstruction. Massive energy networks seemed to transform radiation into usable power. It was as if the entire planetary system had been redesigned from the molecular level up. They didn't just survive, Marcus observed. They fundamentally reimagined what survival means. A communication request suddenly flickered across their quantum arrays. Unlike previous transmissions, this was a direct invitation, not a mere signal, but a deliberate attempt at contact. First glimpse of the transformed. The holographic projection that materialized was both familiar and utterly alien. A figure appeared, human in basic form, but with subtle modifications that spoke of profound biological evolution. Skin that seemed to shimmer with an internal luminescence, neural pathways visible just beneath the surface, movements that suggested a perfect integration of biological and technological systems. "Greetings, Horizon," the figure spoke, its voice a harmonic blend that seemed to resonate on multiple frequencies. "I am Operative Director Kai Zhang of the Kepler Autonomous Zone. We've been expecting your arrival." Kira and Marcus exchanged a look of pure astonishment. The name was familiar. Kai Zhang had been listed among the original colonists, marked as deceased in the initial failure reports. The revelation begins. 200 years, Kai continued, is a remarkable period of transformation. What you are about to witness challenges every conventional understanding of human potential. Aria's systems began processing the incoming data stream, revealing fragments of an extraordinary story. A tale of survival that went far beyond mere persistence, a complete reinvention of human existence. The Horizon drew closer to the system, its sensors struggling to comprehend the complexity of what they were encountering. Planetary surfaces that appeared to breathe, orbital structures that seemed to grow and adapt, energy networks that defied known physics. "We did not simply survive," Kai's holographic form stated with a hint of pride. "We evolved." Tensions of first contact. The political implications were enormous. A lost human colony, presumed dead, had not only survived but developed technologies and societal structures completely independent of Earth's governance. The Galactic Exploration Council would see this as both a scientific marvel and a potential strategic threat. Marcus's cybernetic eye calculated potential diplomatic scenarios, each more complex than the last. "This changes everything," he whispered. Kira nodded, her scientific curiosity burning bright. "We're about to rewrite human history." The Horizon continued its approach, each moment revealing more of the impossible, a testament to human resilience, adaptation, and the relentless drive to survive against all odds. The mystery of Kepler 452 was about to unfold. The diplomatic shuttle Nexus glided through the intricate orbital network of the system, its advanced shielding barely containing the nervous energy of its occupants. Dr. Kira Volkov and Marcus Rieneur sat alongside Ambassador Zara Nakamura, a veteran of interstellar negotiations with a reputation for handling the most delicate first contact scenarios. "The preliminary data we've received defies everything in our diplomatic protocols," Ambassador Nakamura muttered, her augmented neural interfaces processing multiple streams of information simultaneously. "They're not just a surviving colony. They're an entirely new form of human civilization." A civilization transformed. As they approached the central orbital complex, the true scale of the Kepler Autonomous Zone became apparent. What appeared from a distance as intricate networks revealed themselves as living, breathing infrastructures. Structures that seemed to pulse with an internal energy, adapting and shifting like complex organisms. Arya, the ship's AI, provided a continuous commentary. Structural analysis suggests these orbital complexes are not constructed, but grown. The line between technology and biology has been completely blurred. Operative Director Kai Zhang awaited them in a reception chamber that defied conventional understanding of space and design. The room itself seemed to breathe, walls shimmering with bioluminescent patterns that responded to the occupants' emotional states. The cost of survival. Our ancestors arrived here with nothing but hope and desperation, Kai explained, his body moving with an unnaturally fluid grace. Subtle modifications were now clearly visible, neural interfaces that seemed to be part of his very skin, eyes that contained intricate computational matrices. Zara Nakamura listened intently. The initial colony reports suggested a survival probability of less than 2% within the first 2 years. How did you not just survive, but thrive? Kai's smile was both invitation and challenge. Necessity is the most powerful evolutionary force. When conventional solutions fail, unconventional ones become the only path forward. Technological divergence. He began to outline their journey. The first generation had faced near-total extinction, radiation levels that should have been lethal, an atmosphere toxic to human life. But instead of surrendering, they began a radical process of adaptation. Genetic modification became their first survival strategy. Then came symbiotic integration with the planet's most resilient microorganisms. Each generation pushed the boundaries further, transforming their very biology to match the hostile environment. We didn't conquer the planet, Kai said. We became part of it. Political tensions emerge. Marcus's cybernetic eye analyzed every nuance of the conversation. The technological gap was staggering. The Kepler Autonomous Zone had developed technologies that made current human civilization look primitive by comparison. The Galactic Governance Council will see you as both an asset and a potential threat, he observed. Kai's response was measured. We are not seeking integration, we are announcing our sovereignty. A fundamental challenge. The implications were profound. A human colony lost for centuries had not just survived but had developed an entirely new form of human civilization. Their technological capabilities exceeded anything in known space, particularly in biotechnology, environmental engineering, and adaptive systems. Dr. Volkov found herself both terrified and exhilarated. You've essentially created a new branch of human evolution, she said. Not created, Kai corrected. Discovered. We've simply unlocked potential that was always within humanity's grasp. The invitation and the challenge. As their meeting concluded, Kai extended an unexpected offer. An invitation to explore their civilization, to understand the technologies and biological adaptations that had allowed them to not just survive, but fundamentally reimagine what it means to be human. We are not asking for recognition, Kai stated. We are offering a glimpse of human potential. The Nexus shuttle prepared to return, carrying with it revelations that would shake the foundations of human understanding. The Kepler Autonomous Zone was more than a lost colony. It was a mirror reflecting humanity's most profound capabilities, adaptability, resilience, and the relentless drive to survive. The first contact was just the beginning. The research vessel Horizon hung in the carefully constructed orbital space of the Kepler Autonomous Zone, its sensors straining to comprehend the technological marvels surrounding it. Dr. Kira Volkov moved through a research complex that defied every known principle of engineering and biology, her augmented reality interface struggling to process the information flooding her neural pathways. This isn't just advanced technology, she muttered to Marcus Rionner, who walked beside her. This is a complete reimagining of what technology can be. The living infrastructure. The complex itself seemed to breathe. Walls shifted and adapted, creating spaces that responded to the immediate needs of their inhabitants. Computational systems were no longer distinct machines, but integrated biological networks that operated with a fluidity that blurred the line between organic and mechanical. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, a lead researcher from the Kepler Autonomous Zone, guided them through the facility. Her body bore subtle modifications, bioluminescent neural interfaces tracing patterns beneath her skin, eyes that contained computational matrices far beyond standard human augmentation. Our earliest generations realized that survival meant becoming one with our environment, Elena explained. Not conquering it, but integrating with it. Adaptive biotechnology. Each demonstration pushed the boundaries of scientific understanding. Demonstration chambers showed technologies that seemed to defy known physical laws. Atmospheric processors that could transform toxic environments into breathable ecosystems within hours. Cellular regeneration technologies that could repair catastrophic damage in minutes. Energy systems that converted radiation directly into usable power with near-perfect efficiency. The human body, you know, Elena said, is just a starting point. We've learned to see our biology as a flexible system, not a fixed state. The evolution of consciousness. Marcus's cybernetic systems worked overtime, attempting to analyze the technological demonstrations. Your neural interfaces, he observed, they're not just communication devices, they're a form of collective consciousness. Elena smiled. Precisely. Individual survival gave way to collective adaptation. Our technological development became a form of collective intelligence that extends beyond individual bodies. Philosophical and technological implications. The implications were staggering. The Kepler Autonomous Zone had not just survived, they had evolved a completely new paradigm of human existence. Their technology was not something used by humans, but a living, adaptive system that was fundamentally part of human experience. Dr. Volkov found herself both terrified and exhilarated. You've essentially created a new form of human civilization, she said. We've discovered potential, Elena corrected, not invented it. The strategic challenge. The technological gap was more than just impressive. It was potentially destabilizing. The Galactic Governance Council would see the Kepler Autonomous Zone as both an unprecedented opportunity and an existential threat. Their energy systems could solve planetary ecological crises. Their medical technologies could eliminate most known diseases. Their adaptive technologies could transform uninhabitable worlds into thriving ecosystems. But they were also completely independent, uncontrollable, unpredictable. A fundamental choice. As their tour concluded, the underlying message became clear. The Kepler Autonomous Zone was not seeking integration or conflict. They were presenting humanity with a choice, to see their technological developments as a threat or as a window into unexplored potential. We are not asking for permission, Elena said as they prepared to conclude the tour. We are offering a perspective. Humanity's potential is limited only by imagination. The Horizon sensors continued to collect data, each moment revealing more of the impossible. A testament to human resilience, adaptation, and the relentless drive to expand the boundaries of what it means to be human. The technological divergence was complete. The future was waiting. The Galactic Governance Council chamber erupted in a cacophony of voices as the holographic presentation of the Kepler Autonomous Zone concluded. Ambassador Zara Nakamura stood at the center, her composed demeanor a stark contrast to the rising tensions. Let me be clear, Grand Chancellor Victor Reyes demanded, his augmented voice cutting through the noise. Are you suggesting that this colony claims complete independence from human governance? Zara's response was measured. They are not asking, Chancellor, they are declaring. The political powder keg. The revelations from the Kepler system had sent shockwaves through human civilization. A lost colony, presumed dead for centuries, had not only survived but developed technologies that made current human capabilities look primitive. More critically, they were making a bold claim of total sovereignty. Dr. Kira Volkov sat among the scientific advisors, her neural interfaces processing the complex political maneuvering. The technological potential of the Kepler Autonomous Zone was unprecedented. They could solve ecological crises, revolutionize medical technology, and transform uninhabitable worlds into thriving ecosystems. But sovereignty was another matter entirely. Diplomatic tensions escalate. Operative Director Kai Zhang appeared as a holographic projection, his presence filling the council chamber. The subtle modifications to his body, neural interfaces that seemed to breathe with living light, eyes that contained computational matrices, were a stark reminder of how far they had evolved. "We are not seeking conflict," Kai stated, his voice a harmonious blend of human warmth and technological precision. "We are simply asserting our right to self-determination." The council members exchanged troubled glances. The Kepler Autonomous Zone controlled an entire star system, 7 planets, multiple moons, with technological capabilities that far exceeded current human space exploration. A demonstration of power. As if to underscore their point, the holographic display shifted. It showed real-time images of their star system, planets that had once been considered uninhabitable now transformed into thriving ecosystems. Orbital structures that were living, adaptive networks rather than mere mechanical constructions. "Our technologies can solve the most critical challenges facing human civilization," Kai continued. "Ecological collapse, resource scarcity, planetary limitations. We are offering a path forward, not a conflict." The strategic dilemma. Military advisors ran rapid simulations, and direct confrontation was unthinkable. The Kepler Autonomous Zone's defensive capabilities far exceeded anything in the current human arsenal. Their ability to adapt and transform technological systems made traditional warfare obsolete. Dr. Marcus Riener's cybernetic analysis scrolled silently through the diplomatic channels. The potential outcomes were complex. Cooperation could revolutionize human potential, while conflict could be catastrophic. A fundamental challenge. Grand Chancellor Reyes leaned forward, his augmented systems calculating diplomatic permutations. "You cannot simply declare independence. There are protocols, legal frameworks." Kai's holographic form seemed to smile. "Protocols created by a civilization that has not faced the challenges we have survived. Adaptation is our only law." The moment of decision. The council chamber fell silent. The Kepler Autonomous Zone was not asking for permission. They were presenting humanity with a fundamental choice, to see their existence as a threat or as an opportunity. Ambassador Nakamura understood the subtext. This was more than a diplomatic negotiation. This was a redefinition of what it means to be human. "We require time to process your declaration," she said finally. Kai's response was immediate. "Time is a luxury we learned long ago not to waste." The holographic projection began to fade, leaving behind a simple message that would echo through human civilization. "We are here, we are sovereign, we are humanity's future." The sovereignty challenge had begun. The silence that followed the Kepler Autonomous Zone's declaration stretched across light years, a moment suspended between potential conflict and unprecedented possibility. Dr. Kira Volkov stood at the observation deck of the research vessel Horizon, watching the complex orbital networks of the autonomous system pulse with an almost living energy. "This is more than a political moment," she murmured to Marcus Riener. "This is a fundamental shift in human civilization." The turning point. Weeks of intense negotiations had revealed the true depth of the Kepler Autonomous Zone's transformation. They were not simply a lost colony. They were a complete reimagining of human potential. Their technologies could solve ecological crises, revolutionize medical treatments, and transform the very concept of human existence. Ambassador Zara Nakamura had become the primary negotiator, her diplomatic skills tested like never before. The Galactic Governance Council was divided. Some saw the Kepler system as a threat, others as humanity's greatest opportunity. A collaborative vision emerges. Operative Director Kai Zhang's proposal was both simple and revolutionary. Not integration, not submission, but a new form of collaborative existence. The Kepler Autonomous Zone would share its technologies, but maintain complete independence. They would solve critical challenges facing human civilization while remaining entirely self-determined. "We are not asking to lead," Kai had explained during a pivotal meeting. "We are offering to collaborate. Our survival depended on collective adaptation. We see human civilization the same way." Technological transformation. The technologies they offered were beyond imagination. Planetary restoration systems that could transform toxic environments within months. Medical technologies that could eliminate most known diseases. Energy systems that could solve global resource challenges. Adaptive biological interfaces that expanded human potential. But more than the technologies, they offered a fundamental shift in perspective. Survival was not about conquest, but about adaptation. Evolution was not a linear process, but a collaborative one. The political breakthrough. Grand Chancellor Victor Reyes, initially the most skeptical of the Kepler Autonomous Zone's claims, became their most unexpected advocate. "We cannot control them," he argued before the Galactic Governance Council, "but we can learn from them." A new framework emerged, the Collaborative Sovereignty Accord. The Kepler Autonomous Zone would remain entirely independent, but would engage in technological and scientific exchange. No military interventions, no attempts at control, a true partnership of equals. A fundamental transformation. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, explaining their journey, captured the essence of their existence. "We didn't just survive," she told a gathered group of scientists and diplomats. "We discovered that human potential is limited only by imagination and collective will." The transformation was more than technological, it was philosophical, a complete reimagining of what it means to be human. The future unveiled. As the Horizon prepared to return to Earth, Dr. Volkov reflected on the journey. They had gone searching for a lost colony and discovered something far more profound. A vision of human potential that transcended current understanding. Marcus's cybernetic systems calculated potential outcomes. "This changes everything," he said quietly. Kira nodded. "No," she corrected, "this reveals everything." The final transmission. In the final moments before departure, a transmission from Kai Zhang encapsulated their entire journey. "We are not separate from humanity. We are humanity's potential realized, not a threat, not a solution, simply a possibility." The stars seemed to pulse with new promise. A new galactic order had begun. Humanity had found its future, not through conquest but through adaptation.